All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my first reaction, I suppose, after just reading The Walking Dead issue 192 Aftermath. Alright, and spoiler warning, if you guys have not read this issue yet, this is not just another issue of The Walking Dead. If you guys read issue 191, you know, like I said, biggest spoiler warning ever, if there ever was one for The Walking Dead comics. If you haven't read these issues yet, or the recent issues, you definitely want to read them because there are some colossal changes happening right now in the Walking Dead comic universe. Just getting rolling for the day here, just reading the issue through Image Comics. And oh my god, man. So issue 191, if you guys saw my review for issue 191, you know that I thought it was kind of a bluff. I didn't think, spoiler warning, that they were actually going to kill Rick. They killed Rick. They killed Rick. In this one, it leaves absolutely no doubt, 100%, Rick is dead. Sebastian, after, shooting in the previous issue, he then proceeds to absolutely light him up so that there can be no question that Rick is 100% dead. And then without wasting any time or leaving it to some kind of anticipation or going into some other kind of story and kind of leaving us at that spot where we have to wait to find out. No, they just they show it to us right away. Rick is dead. He's left for dead. He's been shot many times, and the light comes in, as you can see right now, into this filming room here through the window, and Rick is basically left overnight by himself to die alone. Carl wakes up, he's having a good day, it's sunny out, everything's looking good, people are saying hi to him, he's smiling, he's having fun, and then he comes in to find Walker Rick. Unbelievable. Then he automatically just shoots him from, I guess, just automatic function. When you see after those many years, when you see a zombie, if you have a gun, you just shoot it. You don't even think about it. But his jaw's dropped, he's in shock, and then he starts to cry, passes on the floor, and then everybody comes in to find him, and then they've captured Sebastian, and they've put him in a cell. And I guess Governor Milton, she's pretty, Pamela, she's pretty nervous, it looks like, to see Carl and to see what she has to tell him, and that her son is responsible for this. Carl is surprisingly no emotion, right? Which is kind of how I felt when I read the issue through a little bit. And probably a lot of you guys felt too, because it's just so fast. It just happens so fast, and it goes through so fast that you don't really get time to react to it. And it's 100% conclusive, so it's not like it leaves any question. And then maybe actually my favorite part of the issue is when Carl confronts Sebastian in his cell, and in a very dark and villainous type of way, tells him basically that he's happy. Sebastian gives him he doesn't care, the whole spiel about whatever, and Carl doesn't give a shit, and just basically says that he's where he belongs, pretty much, and that if he ever gets out for any reason, that he will hurt him. And then in very Neganesk fashion, he walks away saying, "I'll be seeing you," and he says "ta-ta," which I absolutely love. In, like I said, very, very Neganesk type of fashion. So you're getting different influences from Carl. Carl is not just, Rick's son, but he's influenced by Negan. He's influenced by all the people that have come before. And we got to remember, back for the comic book series version, that Carl and Negan had a very close relationship, and they spent a lot of time talking and a lot of time kind of, just spending time together, and for Negan to be sort of a sounding board for Carl and what was going on outside of his cell when Negan was in a cell. And then basically they go to, Carl is going to bring him back to Alexandria, and everybody is sad and everybody's upset. All the different people that, Rick has touched even more recently and prior are going to go back with him to bury Rick, and you just have this just huge, massive group of people that are all going back to do this all together, and Carl falls off the horse and buggy and starts crying, and kind of says what I think a lot of us are kind of how we're feeling. At least I am. I haven't seen your guys' comments yet, but comment below. Let me know how you feel about this issue for sure. So he sacrificed so much to create a world where we can say goodbye. Andrea, she got to say goodbye to everyone, but he's just gone. What was it all for? Everything is better now, safer. The whole world is different. Because of him, he survived so much. But now he dies. Oh God! So it's sort of like he's kind of saying what everybody is kind of thinking, that it's not issue 200 yet, right? Maybe that would be too predictable for you to kill Rick off at issue 200, right? So he does it, earlier, and basically nobody anticipated. You could never ever expect or anticipate that this was going to happen, and even after issue 191, when we did see Rick get shot by Sebastian. From what I saw, at least our first reaction is like nobody pretty much thought that he was going to die. We all thought it would be some kind of, I don't know, somehow someone would run in and grab him, and then Rick would be taken for medical attention right away, and the shot would have missed his arteries or something. I don't know. We all figured like somehow he would make it, right? Dumpsters, whatever. Somehow he would survive. But obviously this issue has closed that door 100%, so there could be no denial. He is in fact dead. So I can't go on without him. I can't do this, not anymore. And then you have Carl crying, and then the issue's over. Crying through his one eye, with his tear ducts in the one eye. So review reaction to the issue. I'm really, and then the letter hacks are actually good. He goes through some things that I personally was wondering. And I know a lot of you guys were wondering, which is, did the TV show have any impact on what was happening with the comics? Because Rick, of course, left this year in the TV series, and he states that no, it had nothing to do with, no bearing, he says here, because it had no bearing on this series. This series informs the show, not the other way around. So even though they've played with some ideas, like they've had some covers where you'll have Dwight there in the cover, and they've done like a variant where they drew Daryl in instead, some stuff like that, just some fun, things like that. That's kind of in sort of a variant, kind of silly way, I suppose, and not something that the show, what the show did this year, had no bearing on this plan to have Rick die in such a way at the Commonwealth. He just felt like it was natural. It sounds like that Rick wouldn't give up on the Commonwealth, and he would sacrifice people or do whatever, even himself, do whatever he had to do for the good of the people, and that ended up getting him killed. Because he's not Negan, he's Rick, he's a hero, and as a result, he kind of gets a hero-esque type of ending, and that he sort of puts himself in harm's way here at the Commonwealth. He goes out on a live for everybody here, and he's killed as a result of it. So, oh man, very, very sad stuff. I really don't. I don't know how to feel about it right now. I'm just kind of like, so many years, so many characters being killed off. I guess in the comics version, you can see Carl sort of take the reins right away. That's probably the biggest strength for the future of the comics versus the TV series, is the comics have Carl. And because they have Carl, he's on the cover of Aftermath right here. I think everybody always thought, in terms of having a good story, that Carl would eventually take over, after Rick. Now, what kind of character will Carl be? Will he be more like Rick? Will he be Tata more like Negan, or somebody like Shane, or somebody like that? Will he become kind of a more, he's obviously hurting right now. He's in a lot of turmoil right now for something to happen so sudden that he didn't expect. Will he become, will he stay like Rick and do the same things that Rick did, to sacrifice himself for people and give himself for people, in order to make the world a better place? Or will he kind of go the other way and maybe become more of a villainous type of character? So we'll have to see what Kirkman has planned. So I'm very, I don't know, apathetic. Screw my vocabulary. I don't care. I'm just very, I guess I'm sad, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, it's been a long time coming. Obviously, the Walking Dead series has been out, in the comics way longer than even the TV series. I'm not sure how many years it is now, like 15, 16, whatever. Whenever the first issue was released, I don't even know. I have to look it up. I don't know. I'm just I don't know how to react to it. I'm just kind of like, okay, I guess. So, I mean, I guess it was going to happen eventually, right? 192 issues. Eventually, we were going to see Rick be killed off, and it just kind of, in this issue, to see it through is kind of like, oh, okay, he is going to be killed off. Okay. I don't know. So, that's kind of where that's a genuine, I'm not going to game you guys. I'm not going to overreact and start crying and do all that if I don't genuinely feel that way, right? I'm not going to do that because I find it to be disingenuous, and I don't like to do that. I'm not, I'll do reaction videos with you guys or reviews with you guys, but I'm not that type of I don't do that. And this has nothing to do with anybody else. I'm just saying that, like, I'm not going to overreact and do some kind of acting thing. I'm saddened by the issue. I'm kind of, it just feels unfortunate for me. Like, a lot of the series I love so much of the Walking Dead comics, that started it all, right? The Walking Dead comics, when I read it through, when I first picked up the issues when they were at the prison, when I read them through, I was like, whoa, this is like one of the best comics I've ever read. And then as things went on and further, and after issue 100 and everything, it's my favorite comic series of all time. So at least I like the letter hack section, that he at least kind of gives us confidence that it is going somewhere, right? This is all leading to something else that's going to happen later. And again, like I said, we always kind of thought that would happen with Carl. The TV series is so weird that they killed Carl off, because that was always what we thought they would do. But now that they've actually separated themselves in that way, the comics can have that really special character that is Carl, that he can be one to carry it through, another 100 or 200 or however many issues they want to do with the Walking Dead comics, and I'll certainly read it all the way through to the very end. So I'm not upset at the at the series or at Kirkman or at anybody for the way Rick died here. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm just sort of like, okay, I guess it's been a long time coming. It's been set up for, I guess, for so long, according to what he's saying here, and everything. It's kind of shocking to read it through, but I don't have too much to say, in terms of, like, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, maybe it's just because so many series and everything, and just so many characters killed off. I'm getting kind of tired of people dying all the time, right? And all these characters that we love dying all the time. It's kind of getting on my nerves. But in this way, it was kind of like, it didn't upset me so bad, because it was explained afterwards in the letter hack, so you could kind of understand that there's more coming for this, and this is the start to something else bigger. So it's the end for Rick. So at least in physical form, the things that he's done over the 192 issues will carry on further and affect people in the future, and he'll be maybe a martyr in some ways, or just somebody that is remembered and helped shape the world that they live in now. So that's it for this video, guys. I apologize if you were expecting fireworks or something. I don't have it. That's just how I'm feeling, in 100% honesty. After reading the issue, first, right after, turn on the camera with you guys after downloading it from Image. And if you liked this video, let me know how. Biggest thing is, let me know how you felt. What was your reaction to it? Did you cry? Did you get angry? Are you kind of like me, where you're just in the middle, indifferent? That's kind of how I felt when I read it. I was like, okay, I guess. All right. That's it. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Leave the comments. Let me know where you're at, and I'll see you again soon for another video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See ya.